Hello everyone, this is Meghna Rai and today's topic for discussion is Superwoman Syndrome or Super Mom Syndrome. I've done a similar video in Marathi, but I thought that this is a topic which should reach to the wider audience. I thought of making it in English also. So before getting into the field of mental health, I myself was a working woman. I worked in the corporate in an IT company for many years. So while working in the company, I was managing a lot of responsibilities there. Also, I was living in the joint family, so there were responsibilities associated at home. Also, I was a mother of twins, so there were responsibilities towards the kids, relatives, friends, social circles. So I was managing all these tasks simultaneously, and I'm sure like me the many others, hundreds of us who are managing it in day out. Now when we are managing this, we put ourselves very secondary, and we carry a lot of physical and mental stress. This stress is called Supermom Syndrome. Let's take an example of Smita. Smita is a working woman, and during this lockdown she has been managing her duties from home. Along with that, she's managing the household chores because the maid is not coming, of course, and along with that she's managing kids' schools and their homeworks and everything. And one fine evening, when she's about to close her day, her son demands some special dish. And now it's a working day. She's already tired after 10 hours of work. She has a lot of things of daily chores lined up. And suddenly her son asks her to make something special for him. And she's little confused what to do. Now if she asks him to hold on his request, she will feel guilty. She'll carry that guilt for a long time. If she does that, she has to carry the physical stress for a longer time, and now she is in a dilemma. Another example is of Swati auntie. She is a lady in her 65, around 60-65. She's managed all the duties of being a housewoman all her life. She's fulfilled the demands of everybody, whether it's her grandchildren, her children who are coming from abroad, everything. And now she really can't say no because she has been doing it all her life. Now what these examples tell us, that no matter what, we are very hesitant to say no when it comes to our household duties or the duties where we are standing as a woman. And this is where the Superwoman Syndrome comes into picture. Now let's understand that this term was actually designed in sociology. It came into picture when in Western countries the women started working in, I think they started managing the work outside home, but still the work inside the home was not delegated or it was not shared by anyone. And that's where this syndrome called Superwoman Syndrome was invented. The word was invented. Now let's understand the definition of Superwoman. A woman who is actually taking care of the housework, the office work, at the same time she is managing her responsibilities, the senior responsibilities at office as well as at home. She is managing the neighbors, she is managing the relatives, the friends, the social responsibilities. At the same time, she is seeking herself to be beautiful and presentable. She is learning something new all the time. And when all these duties are fulfilled, and she's trying to do it because I think each one of us is willing to do so. So when the woman tries to do all of this together, she faces physical as well as mental stress. And the stress is called as Superwoman Syndrome. Many a times we are unable to say no or many a times we're unable to manage the expectations from all the situations around us, and that actually puts us into this syndrome called superwoman syndrome. Now I'm going to talk about 5-6 ways by which we can actually manage this syndrome, and we can actually take care of our body as well as our mind. Now the first tip here is acknowledge, accept that I'm going through this phase. Unless and until you accept it, that these demands from everybody around me is putting a lot of stress on me, we won't be able to work on it. So the first step is to acknowledge and accept it. The second very important step is to take off the mask. Let's take off the mask that I am a superwoman. We have been through all our school, college, before marriage life, that we were able to enjoy all aspects of life to the fullest. Suddenly marriage happens, then kids happen, and then we are still struggling to put ourselves into those expectations from ourselves. So let's take off this mask that I can do everything. That's very important. Third thing is, let's ask or seek for help. If you're getting tired by doing the household chores, you can delegate that work to your kids, your spouse. If there is mother-in-law in your house, a sister-in-law, brother-in-law, whoever is in the house as part of your family, you can seek help from them. If you're asking your 10-year-old child to help you in any of the household chores, it's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. If your husband is coming home from office, you have some list of things to be brought from the kirana store, you can always ask him to get it. It's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do all the activities by yourself. So this is very important. Third thing is ask for help. The next thing is, let's learn to say no. This is very important. What happens to us is, we are afraid, or we actually are reluctant to say no because we have that fear whether we'll be judged or we'll be accepted after once we have said no. So it's okay to say no if you can't do something today. For example, there are 4 dishes already cooked for dinner, and one of your family members asks for something different than whatever is cooked. You can always say, it's okay, I can't do it today, let's do it tomorrow, or after a couple of days. So it's absolutely okay to say no. We tend to do things which are beyond our capacity, and that's where we get into the stress or anxiety, and that's where we have to learn to say no. The next very important thing, the fourth very important thing is, let's take out half an hour for ourselves in a day. I have been telling this repeatedly in my all videos that self-care is very important. I have to take out at least half an hour of my day to do something for myself that gives me happiness. It could be half an hour for exercises, half an hour for doing something like music, reading, painting. It could be doing absolutely nothing also, but that half an hour is for myself. It's very important to understand that. The fifth thing is, let's keep the achievable goals. Let's have achievable goals. What does that mean? Is we all have 24 hours a day, and it's very important to plan them and then do things what fit in those 24 hours only. What happens to us is, we tend to take responsibilities more than what we can deliver, and that actually puts us in physical as well as mental stress. Along with this, let's understand, we don't have to be perfectionists all the time. Let's leave that idea that we can be perfect. What has happened to us is that in school we proved ourselves, in college we proved ourselves, In job, we are proving ourselves, and what we try to do is we still try to do the same things again and again in all aspects of our life. So let's leave the perfectionism for some time. It's okay that if you don't do 10 things at a time. Maybe one of my friends is learning dance right now, and with the kids or the situation at my home, I'm unable to attend so, or I'm unable to do so. It's okay. I don't have to do something which I'm unable to do. If I cannot spare that much of time or that much of bandwidth during my day, it's okay. And this is where I actually remember one of my one line one of my bosses told me once, that you can do everything, but you cannot do everything at a time. It's very important for us to understand that we can achieve everything that we want, but then list it down, give them priority, and then complete it one by one. We don't have to do it everything at a time, at the same time. Here I remember a very important article by Chetan Bhagat. We all know him as a writer, and in 2012 I think he has written a very good article on stress in working women. Okay, and he writes very good statistics in that women who are stressed all over the world, the percentage of women who are stressed is 53%, whereas in India the percentage is very high. It is as high as 87%, and this is actually a worrisome figure. What we can do here, and he's actually given some tips also here. The first one he talks about, it's a very good article, believe me. I'll share the link also if you want. Please read that article. The first one he says is, don't think that you don't have power. Give it back to your mother-in-law or anybody who tries to superpower you. The second one he talks about is, if you're doing a good job at work and it is not valued, talk about it. If you're talented and if you are a deliverer and you're not valued, it's time to step up and talk about it. Ask for your benefits. The third one he says is, keep on learning new skills. Educate yourselves with new skills. What it can do is, what he talks about is, just being a career woman or a housewife is not good enough, or mother or a daughter. Apart from this, you should have your own individuality. The fourth one he talks about is don't compare yourself with other women. You can't be the best all the time. So if somebody is getting better than you or somebody is doing better than you, appreciate it. And the last point that he talks about, it's very important, that he says that don't get competitive with other women. What happens to us women is, if we see somebody very beautiful or doing something better, we kind of try to get jealous. Instead of that, what he says is, try and appreciate it. Try and learn something from that person. If the other woman is doing something better than you, go and compliment her, appreciate her. That way we can actually build a very healthy support system around us. And it's very important for us to understand that we have to relax and chill and work on the superwoman syndrome by working on our physical as well as mental health. Please, let's try doing it. Spread this word with everybody that your mental health will actually decide the health of all other relationships. Thank you.